Here we go, some more hyperbolas. Now, check it out. General form. We need standard form. And graph the hyperbola, state the center, vertices, foci, slopes of the asymptotes. Now, changing this into standard form is very similar to what we did with ellipses and circles. So we have to start by matching up the x terms. Match up the y terms. Complete the square with those, forming perfect square trinomials. We have to, this should have been an equal sign. We have to move 206 to the other side, balance the equation as we're completing the squares. So rewritten and factoring -9 from those x's and factoring 25 from those y's all together, that gives us -9 times x squared plus 6x. Be careful with your signs. Plus a 9. And with the y's, factoring plus 25 times y squared minus 4y plus a blank for your perfect square trinomial is equal to 206 plus the blank for the x's plus the blank for the y's. What's to fill in? Well, half of 6 is 3, squared makes 9, so that's a 9. And 9 times -9 balances the equation. That makes -81. Now with the y's, half of 4 or -4 doesn't matter, 2 squared is +4. +4 makes a perfect square trinomial, but +4 times 25 balances this equation. So over here is +100. Also, same as what we've had it with ellipses and circles, factor, collect like terms. Putting it together, -9 comes down, times x plus 3 quantity squared, plus 25 drops down, times y minus 2 quantity squared, is equal to, when you collect like terms over here, we get 225. Now what's left, if you remember standard form, you have to have 1 over here. So we have to divide all 3 parts by 225. When I divide all 3 parts by 225, I need to reduce those down. It's not normal fraction reduction. I have to divide 225 by 9. Leave that negative. 225 has to be divided by 25, and 225 divided by 225. So my standard equation will become, oh, and don't forget, this minus needs to be in the middle. So I'm going to take this whole fraction and put it second. This whole fraction reduced will be first, equal to 1. So my equation becomes y minus 2 quantity squared over 9 minus x plus 3 quantity squared over 25 is equal to 1. Since y is first, my vertices will be vertical. The minus makes it the hyperbola. Be careful with the center because the center is still coming from x, y, so you have to kind of flip them. Now we have to state the center, the vertices, the foci, and the slopes. Let me move this up. Here we go. So if this is my equation, my center's at -3, 2. Plot the center, -3, 2. Put a little x there. I have horizontally, I have to go 5 units right and left. Vertically, I have to go 3 units up and down. But here will be the vertices. So from my center, 3 units up and down, 1, 2, 3, make a mark. That's a vertice. 1, 2, 3, that's a vertex. 5 units to the right, 5 units to the left. That'll create the box. But Y's first, so the Y marks are the vertices. Where are they? Well, the vertices we have at -3, 7. No, -3, 5. Sorry, I can't count. And -3, -1. Make your box around those marks, hopefully prettier than mine. This creates what we need to construct the asymptotes. So from corner to corner, we need to connect through for the 2 asymptotes. Draw those in. Everything should be dotted, and everything should look a lot nicer than mine. That creates my asymptotes. Let's write down the slopes are at plus or minus. Remember, rise over run. You're rising how far? 3. Running how far? 5. Positive for that one, negative for this one. So my slopes are at positive 3/5. Let's put the hyperbola on the graph and then get the foci. That was one vertex. This is the second vertex. And they are constructed to the asymptotes without crossing on both the vertical, up and down vertices. There's the hyperbola. Foci, formula, remember, plus or minus the square root of a squared plus b squared. 9 plus 25, which is plus or minus the square root of 34. Because y is first, my foci from the center will be on the y, because they have to be inside the curves here. So my foci location, when you write them down for me, are at -3, 2 plus or minus the square root of 34. And let's just plot them real quickly. The square root of 34 is almost 6, 5 and a little bit more. And since we've moved 3 from the center up, you just need 2 and a little bit more for each focus. Those are the 2 foci. And we're done.